Mayor Hessel. Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0, sorry. And auto.
We'll move on to item E. It is a public hearing. School board appointments. Ms. Kim?
Mr. Mayor, we have 4 individuals that would like to be considered for the school board appointments. We have our incumbent, Shannon Martin. She is central, however, she's serving at large. We have Timothy Dykstra, he's Western. Michael Ship, also Western. And Michael DeBose, Eastern.
Okay. Go ahead, Randy.
Mr. Mayor, also during this public hearing, if there's anyone in the audience that would like to put their own name into consideration or the name of another person who's otherwise eligible to be appointed or a member of city council wishes to put a name into consideration, now is the time to do that. Once the public hearing is closed, essentially the applicant pool will be ended at that time.
Okay.
That's today.
All right, so we'll then open the public hearing and ask, is there anyone on council, anybody in the audience that would like to offer a name? Righty, I don't see any, so we will close the public hearing and we'll move on to new business. First item is an ordinance making additional transfer for fiscal year 2023 and authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Zandler Development Company for construction of an outdoor basketball court at South Lawson Park. And our finance director is, our fine finance director, is going to do this for us.
Yes, good evening, Mayor Helsel and council members. Tonight for your consideration is the contract and transfer for the outdoor basketball court at the South Lawson Park. In the fiscal year 2023 adopted budget, $115,000 was appropriated in the Special Revenue Grants Fund to provide residents with an outdoor basketball playing surface through funding provided by the American Rescue Plan Act. On March 31st, the city issued an invitation for bid for construction of this outdoor hard surface basketball court. The basketball court will be installed adjacent to the new picnic shelter and will be a full basketball court with 2 basketball goals. It will be constructed with a 10-foot perimeter beyond the court and will include installation of a green vinyl chain link fence on one side of the court by the ditch. The city received 2 bids for this project, which were opened on April 27th. Parks and Rec, as well as engineering staff, reviewed the bids and checked references, and it is recommended that the city contract with Zandler Development Company, which is the low bidder for the project. Zandler's lump sum bid was $124,974, and as I mentioned, we have $115 appropriated already, so we need another $9,974, which is available in the undesignated project account in the Capital Projects Fund, which currently has a balance of $170,487. So you have an ordinance for the transfer within the capital projects for the $9,974, as well as authorization for the city manager to enter into the contract with Zandler Development Company for $124,974. We anticipate construction would begin around mid-June and should only take about a few weeks. You also have a layout picture in your packet showing where the basketball court would be located at the park. And I would be happy to answer any questions you have. Gretchen and Dave are also here tonight if you have any questions of them.
Okay, thank you so much. Great report. Any questions of our finance director? Okay. All right. We have an ordinance. Thank you, Tamara.
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance making an additional transfer for fiscal year 2023, the Capital Projects Fund, and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Zandler Development Company for construction of an outdoor basketball court at South Lawson Park.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion made and second that we adopt the ordinance. Any questions, concerns, comments? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
I just love voting for stuff for South Lawson Park. Aye.
Councilman Southall. Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Let's move on to item 2. It's a resolution to authorize the city manager to issue letter of intent and contract to purchase a 2024 Rosenbauer 101-foot aerial platform fire truck.
Let Battalion Chief Breeden present this one, and Deputy Chief Bryden is here as well, if council members have questions of him.
Welcome, sir.
Chief
Did I say
Bryden.
Deputy Chief?
You demoted him.
Sorry.
You demoted him.
Oh, I promoted him last time. I think we're all right.
But you got mine right, so.
All righty.
Good afternoon. I'm here this evening to put before you a resolution to allow us to enter into first a letter of intent and then into contract on or about July 1 for the purchase of a new aerial ladder. The reason we're kind of coming to you ahead of July, is there's actually a price increase expected June 1st. Our letter of intent will lock our price in, and that way we don't have to worry about it. So we're trying to save the city some money. This is for a 2024 Rosenbauer 101-foot aerial platform. It's a little bit different than the aerial that we have currently. Currently, we have what is known as a straight stick or just aerial ladder. This will have a platform on the end of it, or a bucket, as some people refer to it as. And that will definitely aid in our effectiveness of being able to rescue, especially when we're trying to get people out of a window on the fourth floor at 2 o'clock in the morning. Instead of having to get them down a ladder, we'll actually be able to put them into the basket or the platform and then lower them to the ground. Much safer operation, both for firefighters and for the citizens that we serve. This project has got about 2 years of background into it, where we have spoke to numerous vendors. We've looked at a lot of trucks. We've had a lot of trucks come through the city and come down to the station that we put our hands on and operated. And we came down to the Rosenbauer. Rosenbauer is one of the largest fire truck manufacturers in the world. They have a very strong presence in the European market and places all around the world. They are built primarily in South Dakota, and the truck would be shipped here. This truck has a lot of features for the city of Poquoson that I feel are beneficial. One of them is the plumbing, the pump, all of it stainless steel. Most of the time on trucks that you deal with that we buy other vendors, that pump would be cast steel or just general steel. And as we all know, saltwater environment, that creates wear and tear. So that will extend the life of the truck, reduce wear. All the plumbing on the truck will also be stainless steel. The ladder itself, the frame of the truck, and the outriggers are all hot dip galvanized. Anybody that's around the city and has a boat trailer, you're probably familiar with hot dip galvanized, because that's what your boat trailers are, and they last a long time around the saltwater environment. So we've taken a lot of steps to make sure that this is a 20-year truck. Unfortunately, the price tag, $1,671,695. It's a steep price tag. We know that. Unfortunately, in the time frame that we've just been looking at trucks, prices have gone up at least quarterly. So it's been a very rapid progress that the prices have gone up. So we're trying to cut that off at this point, because they're only going to continue to rise. What we have found is at that price, that's a solid mid-range price. We could probably get a truck that does less for cheaper, that would have a straight stick versus the bucket, and we could definitely spend a whole lot more. Trucks are going upwards of $2 million now, so we feel that this is a good fit for the city. I've had a phenomenal team that has worked with me, and Lieutenant Chris Walkowicz, Lieutenant John Paul Linton, Firefighter Stephen Katona, Master Firefighter Corey Archer, Master Firefighter Tavish O'Connor, and Firefighter Doug Little. They all brought a little something from backgrounds where they've been in other departments. They've had other experiences, and we put it all together to build a truck that I think the city will be proud of. And with that, anything further?
Great job, Chief. Great job. Any questions of the chief? Looks like you must have done a good job. Brandy?
I just wanted to note that after the recommendation on the truck, the next important question was, will it fit? And Joe, to his credit, found a very similar sized maybe identically sized truck, and actually from Hampton, and they were nice enough to come over and put it in our station to make sure that it fit.
Right?
Yeah, the new tower that NASA has, NASA Tower 8, would be an identical truck to our truck, with some minor modifications layout-wise as far as compartmentation, but the truck itself, it's the same truck.
That may seem like a silly question to double check on, but when I was part of the State Fire Board going around working with fire departments across the Commonwealth, you'd be surprised how many people skip that step to the.
Our vendor is actually dealing with another department that just had that. They found after doing the pre-construction phase that the trucks won't fit in their engine bay, so they're having to go back and do re-engineering. And that's the other part of this is after tonight, upon your approval, we will issue the letter of intent. After July 1 is when we'll start the contract process. And with the contract process, it's a 605-day build time. And that clock starts after pre-construction, which means after we go line by line through every ounce of the build spec to make sure there's no duplication and everything that we want is there, and we stamp our approval on it, that's when that 605-day clock starts.
What do you do with the old one? Is it retired?
We have not had that discussion yet. It's got to last about 700 more days at this point.
Right.
And if it does that, then we can make a determination, I would say, after that point. But that truck has served us well, but it's at the end of its useful lifespan.
The fact that sometimes we run fire trucks through salt water, and occasionally y'all pump salt water into fires.
We don't like to, but we
That
have to.
stainless steel ideal and the hot galvanized is probably a really good.
Surf
Point.
Rider was a prime example because we pumped a lot of salt water that night.
Chief, I had to guess, I think you're gonna get your truck.
Thank you.
Okay, someone prepared with a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution authorizing the city manager to issue a letter of intent and contract to purchase a 2024 Rosenbauer 101-foot aerial platform fire truck.
All righty,
Second the motion?
okay, got a motion made and second that we adopt the resolutions. Ms. Kim?
Councilman Fye? Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All right, thanks, Kim. Item 3, under new business, a resolution making an appointment to the Library Advisory Board. Is there someone prepared with a name?
There's,
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution making an appointment to the Library Advisory Board with the name Nancy Hirschberg inserted, term expiring January 31, 2026.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made and second to adopt the resolution with Nancy Hirschberg's name inserted. Any comments, concerns, questions? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman? Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All right, thank you, Kim. Item 4 under new business, resolution canceling the second meetings of the months of June, July, and August 2023.
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution canceling the second meetings of the months of June, July, and August 2023.
Okay? All right, motion made and second, we adopt that resolution. Any concerns, comments, any questions? If not, Ms. Kim?
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Councilman Fye?
Aye.
Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Mayor Hessel?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
Okay. Let's move on to item 5, the addition, to the amendment rather to the agenda. We've got some appointments to council. Mr. Freeman?
I think Mr. Hucks is going to make the Western appointment.
Okay. David?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I propose a resolution appointing a council member to fill the Western Precinct vacancy. Whereas Councilwoman Allison Fox resigned from Poquoson City Council effective May 7th, 2023. And whereas by the resignation of Councilwoman Fox, a vacancy was created on council to represent the Western Precinct, and whereas City Charter and Virginia Code Section 24.2-228 requires an appointment be made by City Council to fill this vacancy until the certification of the special election that will be held on November 7th, 2023. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Poquoson, Virginia, Section 1, the following person be and the same hereby is appointed to the Poquoson City Council to represent the Western Precinct for the term indicated. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Deborah Diggs Bunting to represent the Western Precinct, City of Poquoson.
Okay?
Second.
All right. We have a motion made and seconded that we adopt the resolution, the Western Precinct with Debbie Bunting's name inserted. Is there a second?
I seconded it.
Okay, all right. We have a motion made and seconded that we adopt that resolution with that name inserted. Ms. Kim?
I would like to have a discussion on that, sir.
Okay.
I have served on city council with Debbie back during Isabel and the aftermath of Isabel. And that was a very difficult, as you know, time for the city. And Debbie did an outstanding job working with our citizens and helping the city recover. She is experienced in city government, works well with people, has a very pleasant demeanor, and I believe she is just what the city needs, and I strongly.
Okay, I couldn't agree with you more. All right. Are there any comments? Kim?
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
Okay. Vice Mayor, you have another one?
Yes, I propose a resolution making an appointment to the Poquoson City Council Eastern District with the name Angie Emmett inserted. She will fill the unexpired term of Councilwoman Jana Andrews.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, a motion made and seconded to adopt that resolution with Angie Emmett's name inserted. Are there other comments? Did you have any comments?
Yes, and the discussion part of that. Angie has served on our planning commission since 2016 and has been chair since 2020. She earned the Virginia Planning Commissioner's certification while on the committee, on the City Planning Committee from PCU. We have observed her interacting with the public in those years that she's been on the Planning Commission, and her ability to lead a diverse group of citizens demonstrated that numerous times. She is well-educated, articulate, and has demonstrated an ability to work with our citizens. She is active in civic organizations, currently the president of Poquoson Kiwanis, and she is a Girl Scout troop leader. She is well-educated with BS degrees in both geology, aerospace, and mechanical engineering, and I strongly support this nomination.
Okay. We got a motion made and seconded that we adopt that resolution with Angie Emmett's name inserted. And we have a second. Ms. Kim? Second.
Councilman Fye,
The only downside is we're taking a great person off of the planning commission, but aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Council, comments to city manager, Randy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Wanted to thank you for your vote earlier today on the basketball court for South Lawson. Hopefully, that's just one of 3 things that we'll be adding before the calendar year is over. We've completed our portion of the walking trail project. We're waiting for the final go-ahead from VDOT, since the money is coming from them, but we expect that shortly. So these projects, the basketball court and the walking trail, may be both done by the time the basketball is done. And additionally, I wanted to preview for you in the month of July, we're going to come back and discuss with you our plan to move forward with the bathrooms there at South Lawson. And finally, I just wanted to thank you for your appointment to Nancy Hirschberg to the Library Advisory Board. It's kind of warms your heart when somebody works with your community a really long time and then retires and wants to continue to support, in this case, what she's been devoting her life to for decades. Thank you for that, and thank you for her.
Yeah,
That's all I have, sir.
I couldn't agree more. All righty, any comments from council? David?
Thank you, Gordon. I have no comment tonight.
Okay, Keith?
Yeah, Poquoson Mobile Food Pantry tomorrow morning, 8:30 to noon. This month's sponsoring or hosting will be the Kiwanis Club. That's if any of them are still awake after consuming all the barbecue over the weekend.
Okay. Bud?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at home and those who came here tonight to pay attention to the city government. I strongly encourage that. And I'd like to thank all the people who applied for the various positions for the city and ask that they continue that effort. There's more positions coming.
All right, thanks, sir. Mr. Vice Mayor?
Nothing tonight.
All right, you want to take us to closed session?
Okay. I move that we go into a closed session pursuant to Section 2-2, 3711A3 of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as amended to discuss acquisition of real property for a public purpose and pursuant to Section 2-2, 3711 Alpha 8 of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as amended to consult with the city attorney.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion made, second, we go to closed session. Ms. Kemp?
Councilman Hugs.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All righty, thank you, ma'am. we already convened from our closed session. We need to certify that, please. Mr. Vice Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, I propose a resolution certifying that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed session to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered by council.
Okey-doke.
I second.
All right, we have a motion made and second. We certify our closed session. Ms. Kim?
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Councilman Five? Mayor Hustle?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? All right, now we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Okay? Motion made, second, we adjourn. Ms. Kim?
Councilman Southall?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman?
Aye.
Councilman Hucks?
Aye.
Councilman Five?
Aye.
Mayor Hustle?
I'm sorry, I was talking to
Mayor
Randy.
Hansel, your vote.
Your vote?
Your vote.
Majority for it, whatever. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 5-0.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, I was talking to Randy. I apologize for that. Oh, we are adjourned.
Eight 8:30?
Yep.